Hello, dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome to the East West Show. Welcome to the weekly update of the East West Show. Jack Chow on the East West with ICT TV. Joining me as usual, you have my big brother Ken Hemming to back me up. And for the past week, though, we believe lots of stuff going on, good or bad, especially bad ones. So, welcome to the show.
You know, this is my favorite place on planet Earth on Wednesday, Jack. Thank you for allowing me to be with you and your viewers.
Once again, I thank you very
so
much
honored.
for staying with us for this long. And this is 200, how many?
225.
225. You imagine on a
Hallelujah.
weekly basis, 225. That means 225 weeks. Yeah. So there are only 52 in a year. So that's more than 4 years.
Yep,
Right.
going on 5 years.
All right, good.
It's a true honor for me.
All right, good. On the mark of the 200 show, there was an award. You were awarded with a beautiful plaque, right? And that says we recognize your service for 200 shows or so forth.
And when I'm at my home office at my desk, I'm
and
looking at that.
I would not let you wait for another 200. Let's do the on the 300 mark. How about
Let's go
that?
for 300.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Hope
Okay.
I'm still breathing.
Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, you will.
I hope so.
You will. And not in ICU breathing though.
Yeah.
Not on life support with breathing, but
That's
you
right.
will be breathing.
Yeah.
Right. Talking about breathing though, we have this devastating fires both in Northern California and Southern California at the same time. And lots of people have lost their lives, their homes, regardless. Needless to say, their whatever, happy life, normal order of life, and lots of people cry about it. So for these fires, what is the first statement you want to make?
The first statement, Jack, that I would like to make, I'm honored to make, my heart wants to state this, is I want to express our appreciation to the sacrifices that the firefighters do to try to save as many homes, save as many lives as they do. And they go literally sometimes 24 hours a day just working, very hard to get them quality food. And they have a very dangerous profession. I believe, as a whole, firefighters in America, regular fire departments or these natural disasters, have a higher death rate than police people. So they have a dangerous thing. And what you and I agree on is it's incomprehensible unless you're there, which I haven't been, fortunately, to realize the speed at which fire can spread. And then when you add wind to it, holy cow, it's almost impossible to get out of there. So I want to give my love to these firefighters, men and women. There's women firefighters, and they're out there doing the same thing.
I was once on the fire site, and it started with a little tree about the same length as like a regular man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It was my first experience. As I never thought fire could go that fast.
It's unbelievable.
Within less than 3 seconds, I would say 3 seconds, the entire motel, it was a motel.
Yeah.
It was a motel by a valley.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly by a valley.
Valley Boulevard.
Right, with Valley Boulevard, right?
Yeah.
Within less than 3 seconds, the whole motel is surrounded.
Yeah. Well,
And
every year at Christmas.
I'm just assuming, because with they say fire, 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 people are running out, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
now,
they're running out fast.
running out, right? By the time they ran all out of the hotel, though, the hotel was already in the center of the fire.
Yeah, it's
All you need is 3 seconds.
in every Christmas. If you've ever seen a Christmas tree that gets on fire, it's instant.
Oh yeah.
And somebody dies somewhere, or more than one, obviously, every Christmas.
And it burns in a explosive way.
It explodes.
And you hear the cracks.
Yeah.
You hear the cracks, right?
Oh,
like
yeah.
That, yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah.
So, assuming, I'm always think this way. If you're talking about a police officer, they have his defense.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
They have a weapon
They have
or a weapon on their
they're
hand.
trained.
They can shoot or they can even shoot back.
Right, they're
Right.
trained.
Either defense or revenge or whatsoever, they have their say.
Yeah.
But once you're in the center of fire, though, it could be all of a sudden, boom, burning around you,
Absolutely.
and you're the victim of it.
And it does happen.
Yeah,
So
it
I
does happen.
love these people.
In the
I
very,
honor them.
yeah, in the very first few days, like day 1 or day 2, when there was zero containment, these firefighters sleep on the ground.
Sure, absolutely.
All right,
Barely
and
eat.
with their uniform
clothes
on, sleep on the ground, and wake up for another fight.
Right.
So to them, I believe they deserve the highest respect.
And I'd like to
And with
highlight
a
too
salute,
that
yeah.
I heard that there were like 50 fire engines coming from Texas. I mean, people come from
Oh
all
yeah, yeah,
around
yeah,
the
yeah.
place, Jack. to
From
come and help
Arizona too.
California.
From Arizona too.
Yeah. Thank
And
you.
also locally, you have Fullerton
sure.
fires there,
Yeah.
and almost every major city dispatched their men there
Yeah,
to help
very
with the fight.
serious. Yeah.
So that's why the fire chief of I believe Paradise, either Paradise Town
Okay.
or the other town.
Paradise is gone.
Yeah, Paradise is gone. It
city's
says
gone.
we have enough. We have enough what we needed
Yeah.
to fight a fire.
Yeah.
Or, something like
Paradise
that.
is maybe 25,000 people or something, and 90% of the houses are burnt to the ground.
48 total casualties.
Yeah. Well,
48.
the fire, they call it the campfire up there, about 100, last I heard, because whatever statistics we have will change by the hour, but 126,000 acres is burned, which is the same size as Las Vegas or Denver. These whole things are, I mean, it's incomprehensible. Anybody that thinks we can control Mother Nature, we can't. What nature wants, nature gets.
Yeah, and also lots of people saying about the climate change or fire prevention. Either way, to do something ahead of it,
Well,
much better than you do what's after.
Well, California has water problems, water shortages, and that's a big deal. Okay, and then we're not getting much rain, and yeah, we need more water.
What if I'm thinking like a child?
Yes, sir.
Right. What if all of a sudden there goes a rain, right away?
Well, now this is what we're worried about for next week, Jack, because if the rain comes, which is expected next week, with the fires, then you're going to have mudslides, and that'll be even just as bad.
Another problem.
tragedy.
Another problem altogether.
Yeah, it is.
Very good. Anyway, that's so much.
That's life.
Our heart goes to
Yes, it does.
folks who lost their loved ones and their houses.
Jeez,
And
unbelievable.
those areas, they have beautiful homes. I know.
Well, like
I know,
Malibu, yeah, that, yeah.
They're at least better off than me.
Well,
than I am.
they've got a roof, they've got a toilet that flushes, and a kitchen that cooks.
All right, good.
So
Anyway.
these are big losses.
All right, good. So back to normal business.
Yes, sir.
And we're talking about 4 major issues. Number 1, we want to touch a little bit about the oil price that goes from 70 something
Yeah,
to 55.
to 55.
$15 to $20
Right.
drop.
About 20%. And today we're up $1 in oil. I watched it this
And
morning.
also we wanted to talk about California voters who voted to have lost.
Right.
Who voted to have lost the proposition,
Yeah.
and they are still paying the same amount of dollars they pay for a gas tax,
Yeah.
which they were originally going against for, right? And thirdly, when we have time, we want to talk about Nancy Pelosi. She's got a new card to play with.
Yes, she
And
does.
that's the gender card.
She does.
And as for gender card, I really have a big time with it because
too.
California has been hanging around with the gender issues for too long and too much, right? And then, if we still have time, we'll talk about Kavanaugh, Judge Kavanaugh, after his assuming seat.
Right.
What is happening to the United States of America, right?
Those are
How
good
about that?
topics. Perfect.
All right. So My dear friends, today with my dear brother Ken Hemming, we are doing once again the weekly update. This week, anyway, sweet and sour.
Yeah, sweet and sour.
I would say it's a mixture of anything or everything. On one hand, we have lost at least 51 lives in the fire. And on the other hand, we have lost a lot at the federal and a lot at the state level to talk about. A busy week we had. So we'll be right back after this short break with us. Hello, dear friend. My lovely audiences, welcome back to the show. Jack Chow on the East West Show with this week's weekly update. With me is my good friend, Mr. Ken Hemming, a political commentator. By the way, I owe you a big introduction of Mr. Hemming. Well, he's wearing lots of hats. One of the biggest hat is that he is a great writer.
I love to.
His book is with me every day, especially now when my wife goes to English school.
Yes.
She uses that as a supplement for her textbook.
I'm honored by that. I'm thrilled by that.
Okay. And the one she's using is the one autographed by you.
You know, I like it because she sees it in Chinese and she sees it in English.
I had two copies. One plain, the one autographed. And I gave her the autograph by you. Right, good.
I've always got a pen to write another autograph.
All right, that says it.
Yeah.
So, a great writer he is, and he, even though being a CPA for life, has a special love to life with the community and cares about the U.S. politics. That's why, as a political commentator, I always relied upon him to get some answers. Every time when there is some issue, there is a head scratching. Of course, we do argue a lot.
We love it.
Argue. We probably argue as much as we agree with each other, but we enjoy both ways, argument and agreement.
Yes, sir, we do.
So
we re-educate each other.
Good.
I like that.
That's why we both are growing.
I like that.
Right. That's why we're growing fast.
We are.
Very good. Okay. To the business. Oil price.
Yeah.
World oil price is the first one. What do you want to say about that? Good or bad?
Well, what's really interesting, you know, I'm retired as a CPA. And so I have a lot of time at home during the day where I'm alone, either working on my house, writing, or exercising. But also I keep up with all this. And then I hear these so-called experts talk about the impact of oil going from 75, 74 down to 55 up to 56 today per gallon, and then how that relates to the prices we pay at the pump. And you hear these guys that are identified, guys and girls, as experts, and they'll say sometimes opposite things of each other. So in my opinion, there's no expertise, there's no perfection of knowledge, okay? So I learned from that nobody really knows what they're saying, but they look good and they're saying something with education. But the inventory, the thing about oil to be focused upon is the inventories that are available. And like, where are all, America just produced, I think, 14 million gallons a day now or something, which is the highest production we've had in our history. And also, Saudi Arabia is playing, you know, they produce more, they produce less because they're very dependent on oil. America is pretty much energy independent now. It is a beautiful place to be, and a lot of it comes from President Trump allowing fracking again, which is directional drilling to get to oil you couldn't get to before. So it's really good, and I had oil and gas clients. I know a lot about looking for oil and what you do with it. But the inventories are still not so high, so we have a lot of demand because our economy is good, so a lot of the oil is being used for energy purposes. So, and then like the experts are worried if it gets under $40, that could cause some problems because it'll reduce the production of oil because they can't make as much per gallon when they're developing it, bringing it out. So who knows exactly? Because if inventories are not I don't think there's a direct relationship between the price of oil to be able to be purchased and the price at the pump. You could still keep, because they say, well, the price of oil goes down faster than the price of the pump. They're not a direct relationship.
Okay.
So I'm really not worried that there'll be a reduction in production. I think there'll be hopefully an increase in inventory and maintain prices where there's a good profit.
In the first place, though, what has caused the price going down?
There's no specific answer. Generally, it would be availability. That the more that if there's more available than is necessary to be used up, then that will reduce the price.
Last year around Thanksgiving, though, I don't recall a price dropping.
It's never dropped $20 in this short period of time.
I know.
Never.
That's why there must be something that causes the drop.
Well, there's a lot of international activities that impacts the Saudis and other oil producing countries. And, we're putting sanctions on Iran. Iran now is not able to sell as much of theirs as they've been able to do. And before that reduces the overall, because we've told like the European countries, don't buy from Iran or we don't sell you our stuff.
You were saying there's
sanctions have an impact.
A surplus? There's a surplus of oil supplies?
Well, right now there's enough. Yeah, inventories don't show a huge surplus.
Okay.
But Iran is being sanctioned heavily, and they have a lot of oil, and
on
they're
the other
dependent
hand,
on it.
On the other hand, the inventory is not that high.
It's not. It's about the same as it's been, in the last year.
Oh, I see.
The number of barrels
So in the long run, you will see the dropping of the price, though, will benefit consumers.
It should benefit
Do you think
us.
so?
Yes. But because I just paid $4.27 for
will California follow? That's the question. Lots of time when price going down, though, get gasoline price at the pump. They don't follow.
It's not following very fast. You're right. You're 100% right. Because, as long as we're willing to pay for it and buy it,
but so far,
why should they just
right
drop
now
it?
we're looking into Thanksgiving, into Christmas,
With a
and
lot of
into
travel.
New Year, lots of travel, though.
Yeah, right.
And how are we looking at the gasoline price with the oil price going down?
Well,
even though we're reluctant to follow.
I put gas, and I've got 2 cars, and twice a week I put gas in some of them, so I obviously look what we're paying. But I just paid $4.27. I thought it'd be down to $4.09 or something now, but no, it's still way up there. So,
regular unleaded goes $3.90 something, right? At this moment.
Yeah, that's not cheap. That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot of money.
Well, and we talked about this before. One thing that makes my heart bleed is the people with sort of lower incomes, okay, and yet dignified, wonderful people. They normally have a little longer commute than people with more money that can afford to live a little closer to their job.
Exactly.
And so they are really hurt with the high prices of gas, okay? They're really hurt. It makes me very upset, very heart bleeding.
The relatively more on the commute people are the ones that paying the more of the money for gasoline.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, and they'll have, just in general, they'll have probably older cars, and the gas mileage on some of the older cars isn't as good as some of the newer ones. So they really suffer. Okay, they suffer. The longer the commute, it eats up a higher percentage of your net income than we wish it did. So I really feel for it a lot. And how do they suffer? Well, they can't buy as good as much food.
But all the while, at least for the past 2 years, though, U.S. started with the fraction with a fraction drilling.
It's a miracle.
That'll miraculously help the United States becoming energy independent.
And opened up Anwar area in Alaska, which President Trump has done. He's done things for American independence.
And the pipeline too.
Right.
That
North
gives
Dakota
it-
pipeline?
That gives it the hope for
Yeah.
for foreseen future.
Yeah.
Right. Now, with American conditions like this, though, with the international oil price drop reflected to the Californian life that much? That is my question.
Well, in California too, California with our political situation is very restrictive about what we can drill here. Okay, they very uncooperative.
And
with-
plus,
for
we have
energy
the
independence.
plus we have the blend shift.
Right.
The weather blend shift, right?
Right.
We're right now about to go into the winter blend.
Well, yeah. I mean, we are. We're what are we? November.
November.
there's snow in
we're
America
in
now,
November.
yeah.
We're in November. Are we going into winter blend December or November?
I don't know.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I won't pretend. When I don't know, I don't know.
Is the winter blend cheaper than summer blend or well, the other way around?
I don't know.
All right. But anyway, we have two
Yeah.
blends.
Yeah. We have. Yeah. Right.
We have two blends, right? Because we have we run a different standard of environmental control as when compared to other states of the country, right? In other words, we're more strict.
California is its own country. I'm not proud of it.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'm not proud of it.
Of course. Which is trying to divide into three.
Yeah, right. That didn't work out so well.
Yeah, that didn't work out so well. Anyway, okay, my dear friend, talking about the oil price, talking about the gasoline price, and they are related or are they not related? We are so far still in the dark of it.
Not directly related.
Not directly related, however, it is. They are related.
Yeah,
right?
indirectly
Okay.
related.
Anyway, with me is my good friend, Ken Hemming. Let's take a short moment now. When we come back, we want to go little to California, the other way, looking at the past election. Stay with us. Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show. Jack Chow on the East West Show with the G&E TV. Now we have a brand new name, ICT-TV, due to the affiliation with CBS.
Beautiful.
We're now a proud member of the CBS network, and you can call me the CBS man or Ken Hemming, the CBS political commentator.
We are now.
All right,
We're
good.
proud.
We're proud of
proud.
it. Right, good. Now, talking about California, we are more concerned about the, for 3 days, 3 days in a row, I've been talking about the aftermath of the election.
Yes.
I call it the aftermath because it's like an earthquake.
Yeah.
Right? It is, in many areas, there are shocking news, right, that popped out. And the worst part is that till today, there are lots of votes that has not been counted,
Wow.
right? So these people are there who are there, not knowing they are elected or not,
That's true.
right? They're kind of hanging. They're hanging. I know that. I know them. I call the losers. I call the winners. I call the losers. I guess some who lost the campaign come here to talk about their impression about the campaign.
I want to look at those shows.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And I did try to reach the winners, several winners, right? And everybody of them say, we're not sure yet.
Okay. Yeah.
We don't know yet. The counting is not done yet, right?
Yeah.
So on and so forth. Okay, we'll wait until someday when they are clear with the final count. We'll bring every one of the ones who we promoted to at the show, on the show, to face our audiences to say something.
Yeah, that'd be
All right,
really
about it.
interesting.
All right, and there's a logic too.
Yeah, I love that.
One thing is confirmed is that we lost to proposition 6.
Very tragic. Very
How do
tragic.
you want to comment on the laws of
Well, Proposition 6 again was to repeal approximately 58 cents per gallon that we're paying in taxes.
63.
63. Thank
To
you,
be
my
more
boss.
precise, yes.
Okay. And why would people not want to unwind that and pay less per gallon? Okay, quite a bit less per gallon. What are the reasons? Some of them are they've been brainwashed because a lot of the, they say this will help our infrastructure, this will correct all of the infrastructure problems in California, but you and I and millions know that the money doesn't end up getting used for the purposes intended on a pure basis at all. It gets diverted and it gets misused and it's inefficiently spent.
There's a little something I want to insert
Yes, sir.
for your reference, right?
Thank you.
If what you said was said 2 or 3 years ago, we need the money because our road infrastructure needs lots of repair.
Yeah.
That probably was proper, and that will buy the taxpayers' agreement to go ahead with money.
Okay.
Now they don't want to say that. They don't want to say that because saying that doesn't work. Because they say you're crying wolf again, right?
Yeah.
Show me something. Show me something. Show me what you have done. You have done literally nothing. And again,
That's
here
true.
you go asking for money.
Asking to keep it going, yeah.
All right, smart as they are, they redid their strategy. This time, instead of
That's
asking,
true.
say, we need the money, they say, what you are proposing eliminates the funds for road infrastructure repair.
Right, that's correct, yeah.
So, how about that?
In another element, in California, we got 40 million people, okay? I don't know exactly how many voters we have, but we have a lot. But in the group of voters eligible, or those that may cheat, eligible to vote, there's a lot of people in California that really don't have a car, that really aren't impacted. They're using public transportation or they can't afford a car or whatever. Now those people, just if they're thinking clearly, and most of them are bright, they'll say, well, it doesn't cost me anything, so let's get all the people that can afford that gas to keep throwing it in here, because they don't have a personal
interest.
Right. So it's easier, I think, to get them to say, well, let's just keep it. All those people making money that got cars, let them pay for it.
On the other hand,
Because they're paying nothing. Yeah.
Sure. Well, I can't argue with you about that part as a fact, right?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, the signature campaign itself, right, has collected 904,000
Yeah.
altogether.
To get it on the ballot.
And that's a unprecedented record
Yeah.
in any of the previous signature campaigns,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Those signatures say that we wanted the tax to be repealed.
Yes, sir.
We are too poor to pay that much tax.
Yes,
right?
sir.
We hate to be imposed with those taxes.
Yeah.
And that includes $175 of registration fee per car.
Yeah, I've got one to pay.
That's huge. Yeah, that's huge.
Soon.
That's huge money, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, now.
It is. It's huge.
So how do you explain the fact that we have 904,000?
Yeah, I don't know what the vote count was
Signatures.
for and against in this. I haven't seen that, or I don't recall it. But the government here in California did a heck of a job of misleading voters, because as you know, they changed the description from a repeal of this to, we've got to keep it going.
Misleading is a very amicable term.
I'm too nice sometimes.
Right, you're too nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for being nice.
Yeah, thanks.
But misleading is not a word.
Yeah.
Cheating is.
Yeah, fraudulent description.
Yes, cheating is.
Yeah, you're
For
right.
the purpose of cheating, they fraudulently use in the text.
Well, and that's part of fake
That
news.
is totally deceiving.
Yeah, it's part of fake news. It's disinformation.
Disinformation.
It's disinformation.
Disinformation.
Which is a global problem right now. And we've shared a little bit about that, but it's global. Disinformation is global. And some places like Facebook allow some of this disinformation to go on, and around the world, actually people die because of disinformation and the reaction to it. It's very tragic and very sad what's going on. The truth is no longer revered as much as it was when I was born, Jack.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And also, I learned from one of my guests in an interview that says that they spend, the interest group spent $3 million, about $3 million, in the campaign of the bill going against Proposition 6.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why when one day you hear vote yes on Proposition 6, the other day you say vote no on Proposition 6.
Yeah.
So the yes, of course, finally backed up because, well, it's a money thing.
Money is being used for very evil purposes now. For example, though, in Texas, the Senate race with Cruz was $100 million spent to try to get this guy, Beto O'Rourke, elected. $100 million is a lot of money, could help a lot of poverty in America. That we have such a wasted usage of just countless amounts of money.
$100 million would do.
We need limits on this.
$100 million would do.
It would help a lot of people.
Something, of some historical event.
And it's all greed and different people's personal projects. Very, very tragic the way money is used now to impact our thinking, rather than intellectual discussions on the true elements of whatever issue. Very sad.
And do you think that will change sometimes? Because Californians can't go on doing this, let people lie upon us, and we take it easy. Do you think we shall take it easy? Or we shall not?
I think it will change, and I think it will change for the worse for a while, until we really almost have a rebellion by common sense citizens. Common sense is so much more powerful and valuable than getting a PhD in any subject.
Well, common sense is becoming a big word.
I know.
Because we're a lack of common sense.
That's right. We're lacking common sense.
We're a lack of common sense.
I'd like to have more than I have, but I have a decent amount. It's just common sense is so basic. It's so beautiful, because common sense has logic.
Speaking of California, though, why don't we spend a few more minutes on it? Do you think it is healthy to let a state be run for one party only, by one party only, for extra long time?
It's very unhealthy.
Now you see we're going to have a Democratic governor again.
Yep.
And we have the Senate House, we have the Assembly House,
Yep.
both in the hands of left hand.
Yep.
So do you think we're going left to left to left to left?
See, a while
How far
ago,
we can go before we hit the iceberg?
well, you're exactly right. A while ago, moderate Democrats, moderate Republicans, we all got along fine. But what's happening in California, it's a very progressive state. And we need to talk sometime about what is the agenda of the progressive Democrats that are radically liberal, don't like our Constitution, want to change it, don't respect the history of America, kind of want to destroy our individual freedoms for more government control in their ideology with no tolerance. And that's the sadness of California. We got 40 million people, we got 320 or 30 million in America, maybe 12% or something are in California, and it's a completely progressive state, and we're financially handled in a very inefficient way.
By population, we're 10% of the United States.
More than that, yeah.
Right?
We are.
And
Probably
by
12.
economy, we're more than 10%.
Oh yeah, we're huge.
More than 10% of the United States,
Yeah.
right? And then we are acting exactly as if we are an independent country.
Well, some people in California want it to be independent. As an American, not a Californian, I would not miss California if it wasn't in America.
No.
Let them have their own army.
I know. To
Whatever.
to divide the state
I
into
don't
several
respect
states
this.
is
Yeah.
one thing.
Right.
Is one thing.
Yeah.
To declare an independent country is the other.
Yeah.
That's treason.
Well, yeah, it's not.
That we have to fight against.
Well, right. Yeah.
You agree with me?
Yeah, of course. But yeah, this is a radical left controlled, dominated state that no longer respects federal laws, does not respect innocent until proven guilty, and a lot of other things that are really in opposition to the concepts of our founding fathers, and it's sad. I'm not happy. But I live here because my daughter's
Me
here
neither.
and you're here.
Me neither, yeah.
I can't leave
This
unless
is
we leave
why.
together.
Well, we can't leave because EDI's here.
Right, that's right.
I can't leave EDI.
Well, like for example, what is it? Is it Google or Amazon now? They're moving from Seattle to Long Island, New York, into North Carolina. That's a big deal. In some of those places that they moved to, some of the people there don't want them to come there and bring in 25,000 jobs.
Last time I interviewed John Cox,
Yes.
right, and the candidate for California governor. Of course,
Respect him very much.
Yeah, he did not make it, obviously, right?
Yeah.
He says, we are the ones that are paying the highest tax,
Oh yeah.
and we're the ones driving on the totally corrupted roads
That's
for our
true.
commute
Right.
to and from cities that we love but not able to afford to live in.
Right. Right. That's
And
true.
we pay the highest housing price and the
Oh, yeah.
rent.
Unbelievable. The rents.
Yeah.
The
Everything.
rents have gone up faster than house prices.
Yeah. And yet last thing we want to pin our hope on our children. Okay.
Yeah.
This generation is done. Let's hope for next generation. Our education runs the second from the bottom
Yep.
of all the 50 states
Number
of the
49.
United States of America.
Yep.
We're the 49th.
And what they're teaching in these schools now is dishonor of America. They're teaching America's the bad country, doing all these things, and yet we've had the most glorious existence for 250 years or whatever.
They're teaching the gender thing.
They are teaching everything hateful to our Constitution and the glory of America's history.
That I'm not sure, but I know one
I'm
thing for sure, that the gender is a big lesson in California schools.
Like go to Berkeley, you can't even say, I love America. You can't even wear a flag on your hat. You can't even have a conservative attitude, or they will possibly physically damage you or certainly shout you down and demean you. I love to be demeaned because it doesn't bother me.
All right. Okay, my dear friend, let's take a short moment out. We come back to continue. Well, we'll probably talk a little bit about the gender cars played by
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
How about that?
I love it.
Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show. Well, Nancy Pelosi has new cards to play. That's that's a big news, but never new.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So it goes on.
I want you to start with it.
Sure. Now, Nancy Pelosi is a politician. Now that the Democrats have a slight majority in the House, in Congress, she wants to be the number one Democrat leadership of those Democrats in the House. She wants to be Speaker of the House. She was previously. She's been in D.C. for a long time. Her husband's got tons of money. She's got tons of money. A lot from, both Republicans and Democrats that get corrupted in Washington, D.C. It's not a pure city at all. Very impure city. And so she wants to have the power back to guide rhetoric and also to guide the bills to try to be passed that will be trying to unwind the great progress that President Trump has done economically and also in the attitude and in the confidence people have in America now that their life will get better because we have less regulations, we have more economic opportunity, and we can grow. And they want to unwind that. She called the benefits of tax cut crumbs. Now that's really ridiculous because it's so obviously false.
What?
So it's going to be but there's a lot of people in the party that think she's she's 70-some years old, that she's been there too long. She should not be the leader in Congress of the Democratic Party. About 60 people have said they don't want to support her, but no one's had the courage to come up and say, I want to run for it yet. But also then, she just said this last week that, you know, if you don't vote for me for Speaker, it's very immoral because that's a sexist thing. You won't vote for me because I'm a woman. Now that's insane too. I mean, it's just actually ridiculous. So all of these cards that they pulled, the racist card, the sex card, the this gender card, all of these things, it's just really sad and it's worthless and it's not admirable. So she's trying to intimidate the Democrats in there that you better vote for me or I'll
in
get even.
neither Senate or Representative House,
Yeah.
there's no such a reason for going how many members are women, for how many are men.
Not at all.
There's no limit at all.
Right. None.
Right? None.
I think there's
When
about
you have-
93 women in Congress.
I know. When you happen to be a woman, you happen to be a woman. That's it.
Yeah, it's just
Right? Just do the
Luck
number
of the
count.
draw.
Let's do the number count.
Yeah,
You don't have to emphasize. Oh yeah, we need 51 women versus 49.
Yeah.
Something like
right.
that.
None of
So
that.
so now, I want you to confirm with me. The gender card is never a card. Let it right or let alone be it right or be it wrong.
Right.
Am I right?
Correct. It should have no impact on it. Now, I will tell you, like my sister, she would vote for a woman that has like no qualifications or has evil in her soul instead of a man that's got great qualifications and is a great leader. Because if it's a woman, I want her there. Okay. Look, I love my sister, but that's all she wants is women. That's all she wants. So it's kind of like, why? What's wrong with you?
I don't know
It's
why
so
people.
sad. I don't
why
care if
people
you're a boy
play
or
that
girl right
way,
here.
but yeah, this is it. And plus, Californians are getting oversensitive with the gender issue.
It's a political
Are
weapon.
we
It's
are
a
we
weapon.
bothered? Are we bothered too much by gender issue?
It's used in immoral ways. It's used as a weapon, okay, to try to put guilt upon somebody because
Yeah.
oh, you're not taking care of that woman.
Back
okay?
to the cake issue, the wedding cake
Right,
issue.
right.
Was that a gender issue?
Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
You can relate it to a gender issue thing,
And
right?
a sexual identification
Of
issue.
course, of
Yeah,
course, of course.
Exactly.
And then back to the third bathroom. Is that a gender issue?
Hey, you walk into my bathroom, and don't belong there, you're not going to stay there. But yeah, and it's very dangerous if you can use any bathroom and there's little
That's a gender
12-year-old
issue.
girls in them. Yeah,
that's a gender issue.
A gender,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Right.
We are going gender and the gender,
Right.
LGBT,
Yeah.
is that a gender issue?
Totally. Yeah.
Now, LGBTQ,
Right.
and
And there's more. It just
there's
keeps going.
more.
Yeah, it just
anyway,
keeps going, Jack.
Anyway, yeah. So,
Yeah.
are these gender issues?
See, what we've always agreed upon is that, we don't care who kisses who, but we care who marries who. Okay? And so that's just our
It is the
heart.
people we're talking about.
Yeah.
It is people. People do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
Like a monkey do.
Yeah.
Right?
Just do it in private.
They do private, in a private.
Please do it in
I
private.
don't want to be packed into the law system
Yeah.
that confirming you while dilute my faith.
Right. Right. Right.
That
right.
is the
No,
problem.
That's right. Yeah. We're supposed to have freedom of our religion. Yes.
Yeah.
And,
I don't
and
care.
you can't dictate to me that you have to ignore your religious beliefs to satisfy some general political issue. Right.
If I eat eggs, I eat the inside of the eggs.
Yeah.
You may eat the eggshell.
Right.
All right.
You're right.
But you can't make a law say eggshell is food.
See, that's a really good point. That's a really
Right.
good example. Yes.
So
Right.
go ahead, enjoy your
Yeah.
freedom, eating your eggshell.
Right.
Go ahead. I am okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm totally okay with it. So
It's
don't just take me in it.
we're in troubled times in this deal with Nancy Pelosi in Congress. We're going to be in for 2 years of unbelievable
I want to say
dishonor.
something to my audiences. My dear audience, you know me, right? I used to be on the very left, right? Only for the past 2 years, though. And Ken Hemming can testify to how much I argue with him because the left-right thing,
Yes, sir.
right? Of course, being left, nothing wrong being left. Nothing right, nothing wrong being right. I'm talking about you have to be reasonable and reasonable with rationality. How about that?
Intolerant.
Tolerance.
Yeah.
Reasonable
Yeah.
with the tolerance and then actually rationality.
Yes, sir.
How about that?
Perfect. True.
So you can't extremely going to the left. You can't extremely going to the right either. My problem is that for the past 2 years, when I have seen that much of going
Too far. Left.
out of bound,
Yeah.
out of bound,
Out of the
bound
reasonable.
too much,
Yeah, you're right.
right? So you really think about it's time to drag it back. You agree with me?
Yeah. See, right now in Congress, there's about 90 people that identify, 90 Democrats that identify themselves as radical progressives. Okay. Now that's about 40%. Okay, that's huge. Okay, so they're outside of the boundaries of reason and tolerance that you talk about. Okay, they really are outside of it. They don't like the Constitution. They don't like the Second Amendment. They don't like freedom of speech if you disagree with what they believe. So we're really at a cultural war now. We're in a cultural war. We are.
Okay. Yeah, it
We
is.
may
It
lose.
is. It is.
We could lose.
Back to California a little bit.
Yeah.
This morning on my way in, I was listening to a radio comment.
Yes, sir.
Right? And they say next thing they do, they'll put a statue of Karl Marx in the State Hall of
State Hall.
California.
I wouldn't
in the
be
State Hall of
surprised.
California.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be
right?
surprised. They want to take down statues of wonderful heroes of the history of America for no reason.
Okay, anyway, my dear friend, lovely audience, today, weekly update. There's something else we want to cover. Oh, yeah. Okay, Trump and
Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh.
Well, okay, look, I can say this very quickly. As we all, even whether you're leftist or right or conservative or ultra-liberal, you have to agree that Kavanaugh, in his process of being confirmed as a Supreme Court justice, was treated in such an inhumane and uncivilized way, trying to destroy his life, his wife, and their kids based on false allegations of
Was
sexual
stripped and
inappropriate.
boiled like a chicken.
It was, they would have hung him if they could. They would have hung him without any question. They would have been happy to destroy his breathing. And I think what the Democrats, are the radical ones, of which are plenty now, will do in the next 2 years with President Trump will be much worse than the horrible things they said about Kavanaugh and the deceit and the lies that they had. It's going to be worse. Now, I think President Trump is the only man in America, other than me, which I could do, that could handle it, take it, not get upset by it, and just keep on moving forward. President Trump will do it because he's unique, he's tough, and he's unoffendable like I am.
Yesterday, I had an interview with my friend, Chris Shahinian.
Yes.
And he says that during the election of 2016, we delivered a strong message that we do not want a division, we want a unity.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And again, with this past midterm election, once again, we delivered the same message. We do not want division, we want a unity. We want a solidarity. We want a solidarity. We want a unity forever, right? Okay, now, the problem is
Cooperation, at least.
okay, whatsoever,
Right,
right?
right.
Whatsoever.
Yeah.
However, whatsoever, you name it.
Yeah.
But the thing is that we've been divided long enough.
Well, they're self-dividing.
No more
The radical
divisions.
left liberals are
Like right now, what they say.
self-dividing.
Like right now, what they say. Everybody wants to invest everybody.
Okay.
Suppose you have the time. Do we have the money? Taxpayers. Are you using taxpayers' money to investigate?
Well, they're not, yeah. Well, right now they have 85 things they want to investigate on President Trump when they get after January 21, when they're sworn into Congress, okay, and they have their majority. it is going to be and it's going to be nothing but evil, rotten fake news every hour of every day, led by CNN and the leaders in Congress. You're going to have Maxine Waters, who just wants to impeach President Trump for no reason, just because of hate, and is going to be in charge of the banking committee. And she is going to try to destroy and re-regulate the banks.
It is tradition to the Western world.
Deep trouble.
It is tradition to the West world that media is the third eye.
Right.
The third eye being that you guys play, I watch.
Right.
Like that. Now is not. You are not talking about third eye.
No.
You're talking about the third mouth.
Yeah, it is. It is
That
an
is the
extension
problem.
of the radical
That
left
is the
agenda.
problem. That is the problem.
And they care
They
nothing
get
about
their
truth.
voice themselves.
They
They're
care
not the
nothing about
eye
truth. Right.
itself.
They don't report. All they do is pontificate.
All right,
on
my
their
dear
agendas.
friend, we're over time, but we are happy.
happy.
And well, we almost left one issue. Anyway, there are lots of issues
We'll be
that
back.
we're talking about. With me, Ken Hamming. Thank you very much, Ken.
My honor.
And my dear audience, and thank you for watching.
Thank you.